Emma Kliesen was part of a very talented family. Their father was a world-famous spelunker, while their mother was served as a G Corporation executive. Now, for you guys that don't know what a spelunker is, it's basically like an explorer. So think of Indiana Jones or like Nathan Drake from Uncharted. That's basically a spelunker. Although Leo's father disappeared during an expedition when Leo was a child, Leo still wanted to follow in the family tradition and become a spelunker or an adventurer. Leo possessed a strong sense of character thanks to proper upbringing. Life was pleasant and relatively uneventful until one fateful day when Leo's mother was killed by an unknown assailant. I think we both know where this is going. One of those goddamn Mishima are up to something as usual. Depressed and filled with grief, Leo became incensed when the police called off their investigation quickly and without explanation. Leo vowed to find the truth. Now, we've been here before with so many characters in the game. They are almost like half the character roster is out for revenge against the Mishimas. I don't know why the Mishimas are always the root cause of almost every character's problems, but man, this is just messed up. It's always the Mishimas, and I'm so tired of talking about this, bro. Like, it's just always the Mishimas. It's crazy, man. During Leo's investigation, the G Corporation's Kazuya Mishima materialized as a person of interest. The G Corporation was popularized at the time as a world hero, making it difficult to get close to Kazuya. So if you guys remember in Tekken 6, Jin is the one that declared the war, the Mishima Zaibatsu. So the G Corporation at this time was regarded as a hero organization due to the fact that it was the organization that stood against the Mishima Zaibatsu led by Kazama Jin. So it looked as though Leo's quest had reached an insurmountable impasse. It was at this time that the news of the Mishima Zaibatsu sponsored the King of Iron Fist tournament began to spread. Leo learned that Kazuya Mishima was scheduled to appear in person at the event. Realizing that this may be the only chance to take revenge against Kazuya, Leo decided to enter the contest. So, just like most of his other characters, like, Miguel, they all heard about the King of Iron Fist tournament, and like for every character in the game, like this is the best opportunity they have to actually get the chance of actually meeting like Kazuya, or if they're looking for like Heihachi or Jin, like the tournament is always the easy way to go. And surprise, surprise, Leo does the same thing. He heard about the announced King of Iron Fist tournament by the Mishima Zaibatsu, and so decides to join the contest to get close to Kazuya. So during the investigation, eventually the name Kazuya Mishima of the G Corporation came up. Suspecting his connection with the murder, Leo attempted to meet with the man. However, with Kazuya's newfound status as world hero through the actions of the G Corporation, it was impossible to get within his proximity. So just as we discussed with the whole Mishima Zaibatsu going to war with the G Corporation, Kazuya has this status now of being like a world-renowned hero because he's going against Jin, which in turn made it so difficult to get close to him. Let's think of it like a famous man, right? How is anyone getting close to someone like Jay-Z, right? It's about levels. So it's the same thing for Leo here. Being nothing but a simple adventurer, they decide to just join the tournament and get close to Heihachi. So this is as far as Leo goes in the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6. The only thing we can talk about, I guess, is the ending description or the Leo ending video. So Leo pays a visit to Emma Kliesen's grave and finds a letter reading, "Dear Leo." Leo reads it and then turns around suddenly to find no one standing there. The camera pans over Leo's face, then points up. So of course, their mother being dead, Leo often visits the grave. So nothing too big in the ending description as usual. Like most of the Tekken Tekken ending descriptions attract you. Sadly enough, I mean, Leo's is good, but I wish they would focus more on the endings that progress the storyline instead of showing what they've already described in the prologue. Unfortunately, Leo falls victim to this as well. So now let's talk about Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Now Tekken Tag is not canon to like the Tekken story franchise, but the thing is, Tekken Tag 2 has a lot of ending descriptions of so many characters in the game that progress their storyline, and thankfully Leo is one of those characters. So let me just describe the ending description of the Tekken Tag Tournament 2 ending. So Leo is seen on a train that seems to belong to the G Corporation. Leo sneaks in and reads from a computer that Emma Kliesen was once a supervisor for the Mishima Zaibatsu's Devil Gene program. The cells of the Devil Gene merged together with a normal person's cells, so the Mishima Zaibatsu created a synthetic strand to use. The program was cancelled after various fatalities of the test subjects. Emma had also reported the death of NT-01. Suddenly, while Leo is saving the information onto a USB, the computer's owner arms himself and goes back into his cabin. Leo manages to get back on the train's roof only to be surrounded by 3 armed men. Swearing to find their mother's murderers, Leo jumps out of the train and fires a hook that lands on the ledge. Okay, we have a lot to talk about here. Now this is where the connection between Leo's mom and Steve Fox begins. I mean, it starts off in Tekken 6, but it's expanded off in Tekken Tag 2. This is why we learn that the lady that saved Steve from the Devil Gene program was actually Leo's mom, Emma Kliesen. If you guys remember Steve's storyline, I'm sure we all do. I've covered Steve's character breakdown. If you have not seen it, please do check it out. Steve was part of the test subjects that was, unfortunately under the Devil Gene program. And we see here that in the computer, we see Emma announcing the death of NT-01. NT-01 was a name given to Steve Fox as a test subject. Like, it's a test subject name. But the thing is, she faked the death of Steve. Like, Steve was one of the... I think he successfully merged with the Devil Gene. Either that, I'm not really sure about that. He either successfully merged with the Devil Gene program, and I'm hoping this is where Steve's storyline goes. But let me not talk about Steve. Like, he's my boy, so I had to bring him up. But yeah, or Steve was actually just saved by Leo's mom, and this is the reason why I think she was assassinated or she was killed, because she ended up saving Steve. So in the future, I do have a feeling that Leo and Steve will end up connecting and becoming close and things like that. But the biggest review of this ending description in the Tekken Tag Tournament is the fact that Emma Kliesen was actually the one that was working under the Devil Gene program, and actually was the one that saved Steve. So this is huge. Really huge. Awesome ending. Again, I wish the endings were more focused on story lore, just like this one. But beggars can't be choosers. Enter the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7, and just like Tekken 6, Leo entered the tournament in the hope of uncovering more about his deceased mother. So now, when Leo learned that his battle arena was to be a Zaibatsu-owned dojo, he could not believe his luck. However, when he got there, the dojo was in ruins. The moonlight poured in through holes in the walls and roof, illuminating the floor with an airy beauty. A short while later, a strange floating silhouette appeared and slowly glided towards Leo. The silhouette held a sword in its left hand and rotated at a mind-bending speed. What the hell was this thing? It looked like some kind of flying squid, octopus. Was it a demon? That was Yoshimitsu. And that's all that ends about, Leo's storyline in Tekken 7. I'm sorry, but that's all. Yeah, it's sad. So the best thing we can get from this is the fact that you guys remember that Heihachi and Akuma had some crazy ass battle here, right? So I think Leo had his match, you know, just after the battle ended between Heihachi and Akuma. Leo went to the place because that's where his match with Yoshi was supposed to take place, but he found that, you know, no one was there. Like, the place was already destroyed. I think that's what I think. Not much light is given on this, but I assume that's what I think. So nothing really goes on in terms of lore for Leo here. Just that does you know, Japanese comedy, and you know, that's it. So Leo is another character whose storyline was not progressed in Tekken 7, which is very, very sad, to be honest with you, because Leo has one of the good stories in the game, in my opinion. So I really wished Namco could have done something about it, right? Progress the storyline, you know, introduce Steve, you know, let him find out that about, you know, the mom saving Steve and all that stuff. Let him get close to Steve. And it's also weird how they go from describing Leo as they in Tekken Tag, Tekken 6 description to like he in Tekken 7. It's just weird, bro. Like, is it gonna be a she in Tekken 8? I don't know. So this is where Leo's storyline comes to an end, my boys. I wish there was more. I always wish there is more in Tekken lore as usual. But it's like Namco just don't want to take that step forward, and I don't know why. They have so much source material they can go off of, but they just don't want to take that risk, and it's so sad. Leo as a character has so much depth to their storyline, you know. Maybe they can do something with the father, because the father is described as missing. Do something with the father, like maybe he is the head of the, you know, Devojin program, you know, Tashali Kazuya. They can do something like that. Like, the possibilities are endless. They can do so much with Leo. But I look forward to seeing where the story goes. I don't think Leo might make Tekken 8, but if he does, I would love to see some progression to his storyline. So yes, this is the end of Leo's story explained, my boys. If you've made this far, please do subscribe, leave a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and you know, it makes me motivated and upload more videos. If you did make it this far, again, please do remember to check out my playlist on the lore videos. If not, check out my other lore videos, including Eddie Storyline Explained and Lily Story Explained. So yeah, GG my boys.